Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. Something that every kid remembers is a day at the zoo. Every spring, my mom would take us and my two sisters to the zoo, where we would meet my mom's sister, Aunt June, and her two daughters, Amy and Laura. I didn't want to see them again because I was small for my age, and Aunt June's girls were tall and sporty and seemed to enjoy making fun of my size. Mom always made a big deal out of getting together with Aunt June. Mom made me put on my best pants and a collared shirt. Jenny wore her favorite dress. Mom loves getting Jenny dressed up and paid extra attention to her during this visit. I'm not sure if Jenny or Mom liked the clothes more. Becky wore clothes for adults. She stopped letting Mom dress her in what she called little girl dresses. Jenny was looking forward to this trip. Jenny's Aunt June had told her mother that she had some nice clothes and other things for Jenny that had belonged to Jenny's cousin, Amy. Aunt June loved putting Amy in girly clothes, and she took very good care of the frilly dresses. Aunt June gave Jenny some of her best clothes. When we were finally ready to leave, Mom told us it would take more than 2 hours to get there and made us use the bathroom before we left. The trip to the zoo was a long one. Mom was not happy with me because I was in a bad mood and had been fighting with Jenny and Becky. She asked me why I was so grumpy, and I told her that I didn't want to spend the whole day with a bunch of girls, especially Amy, with her loud mouth. As we were pulling into the parking lot, my mom told me to watch how I was acting and told me not to fight with Amy and stay out of trouble. There they were, waiting for us. We all got out of the car and did the usual greetings, hugs, kisses, etc. Aunt June looked at Jenny and said that her little dress was so cute. Jenny liked all the attention and gave her aunt a big, cute way. I knew Amy was up to something when she came up to me with that look in her eye. She hugged me and lifted my feet off the ground. Then she laughed and set me back down. Since the last time I saw her, she had grown, but I hadn't. It wasn't fair. We found our way into the zoo and started to look at the different exhibits. Mom and Aunt June were kind of in their own little world, enjoying each other's company, while the girls talked and giggled nonstop. They would occasionally point out something interesting and make sure the girls didn't ignore me completely. I walked slowly and didn't seem interested in anything. The older girls were actually pretty nice, but I tried to stay away from Amy because I thought Mom wouldn't like it. Others thought Amy was trying to be nice, but every chance she got, she would push me or call me small or something like that. After a couple of hours, everyone had seen enough of the zoo, so we went to get lunch. Mom and Aunt June sent us kids to the picnic play area while they went and got our lunch and set it out. The girls were talking and having a good time by the swings. I had to get away from all of their giggling. I saw a small bulldozer inside a work site that was fenced off and had a fence around it. I thought, what could it hurt? I wanted to get a better look. I climbed over the fence and got up on the dozer to see what was going on. I was able to get a good look inside the cab by climbing around the back. Oh no, I could hear Mom coming up behind me, and she said, "Get off that thing." I got down from the dozer and went back over the fence. Mom turned me around and said, "What am I going to do with you?" with a sad look on her face as she led me to the picnic area. I didn't know it at the time, but as I climbed the dozer, I had rubbed into some nasty grease. I had a lot of grease on the back of my pants and shirt. The other people were eating lunch at the picnic table. As the girls talked about me, I felt embarrassed. Mom tried to wipe off some of the grease, but it just made things worse. So I wouldn't get grease on the picnic table bench. She made me sit on part of a cardboard box. I didn't think it was that important as we ate lunch. In fact, lunch was pretty good. We were hungry from all the walking, so while we ate, we talked about our favorite animals. When we were done with lunch and it was getting late, we went back to our cars. The girls talked and got ready to say their last goodbyes. Mom and Aunt June were in the back of our car putting away the picnic stuff and looking through the clothes Aunt June had brought for Jenny. Mom called me over and said, "Honey, we have a real problem here. You got a lot of grease on your clothes climbing around on that tractor thing, and you can't ride in the car because grease will get all over. Honey, your clothes are ruined. You're going to have to wear something from these clothes Aunt June is giving us." In front of me were 3 or 4 of Amy's old dresses and a bag with shoes and other things. I protested, No way, Mom. My mom was getting impatient because we had a long drive ahead of us. Come on, honey, just choose one, she said. There were just clothes. By this time, Jenny and Amy had figured out what was going on and come to the back of the car. Amy, laughing, offered to help me choose something. I was so embarrassed that a tear came to my eye, so I ran to the bathroom near the entrance to the zoo. I stood there in the bathroom for a minute or two, trying to figure out how to get out of this mess. Then I heard my mom say, "Andy, come out of the bathroom." I didn't want to, but I did. "You've ruined your clothes. You've been a brat all day," she said. "It's time to go home. I don't know what we would do without these clothes from Aunt June." Mom said, "Besides, this isn't the first time you've worn a dress." I stood there shaking my head. She put some shiny black shoes on my feet and tied them together with a small strap across the top. Mom stood up, smiled, and told me to turn around and put my hands up. I knew what was going to happen next. Mom put my arms through the sleeves, which had elastic bands, and pulled the dress down over my head. There were a lot of tiny buttons down the back of the dress, and she had to fuss and pull at each one as she put it on. She pulled the sashes tight and tied them at the small of my back. "Aw, you're so cute," she said as she led me to the sink. She made me wash my hands until there was no more dirt or grease on them. She was very upset by what I did and how I did it. "You did this to yourself, you know," she told me as she wiped my face with a damp towel. I looked in the mirror and saw that I was dressed like a girl going to a party or something. It was a frilly pink dress with a spring flower print in bright pastel colors. The front bodice was smocked, and it had a picture of the sun shining through a rainbow with a rabbit print. It was a short dress with a high waist and a petty that made it look a little fuller. The edges of the short, puffy sleeves were made of lace. I hated being so small. Mom put her hand on my shoulder and said, "It's time to go. It's a long way home, and the others are waiting." She told me not to make it hard on myself, just go with it, and don't forget to be polite. Mom went on to tell me that she didn't see what the big deal was since dresses are just clothes and boys used to wear dresses for a long time when they were young. I think it's cute when a boy wears a dress. Mom said that you might have to wear a dress again if you can't stop throwing away your clothes. "I'll give it a try," I told my mom, remembering the last time she dressed me up. We started walking back to our car across the parking lot. My dress with its high waist and tight sash felt strange. On the way, a group of older girls gave me some strange looks and giggles. Aunt June and the girls had been waiting for us patiently, and when we got close to the cars, they all got out to see me in my girly outfit. "Oh my gosh!" Aunt June gushed. "You're as cute as a button." Amy and Laura laughed, and my sister's cute dress Andy did too. Jenny stepped up next to me, also wearing a cute little dress. "This is what you do, Andy," she said, showing me how to do it. "Hold your dress like this, put your foot like this, and curtsy. That's how girls say, thank you." I was so confused that all I wanted to do was get in the car and leave. I put one foot back and gently bowed forward while carefully holding the dress's hem. The girls laughed with happiness, and Mom looked at me. She smiled and nodded to show that she agreed. She said, "It's time to go home." I walked over to Aunt June and said, "Thanks for bringing the extra clothes. I want to please Mother and keep things moving." "You're welcome, honey," she said with a smile. "Dresses are special, and I think all boys should wear one at least once. After all, girls wear jeans, don't they?" She was right. Dresses were special, and boy clothes were all the same. Pants and t-shirts. I did feel special in the bright, frilly dress, and sometimes I wished I had Jenny's cute clothes. Mom was always happy and patient with Jenny, cheering her on and helping her with things. It seemed like Jenny made Mom laugh and gave her pleasure. I tried to make Mom happy, but I usually got into some kind of trouble. I think Mom liked girls more than boys, or at least that's how it seemed to me. I was starting to feel better and was getting used to the dress. We said our final goodbyes after a few more comments about my pretty dress. Becky, my older sister, saw the change in me and decided to have some fun with it. "Come along, princess," she said in a sweet voice. She took my hand and helped me get into the car, putting my lap belt on. "Your big sister will look after you." As she sat next to me in the back of the car, I gave her a small smile. I wasn't used to her paying attention to me, let alone being so nice. Now we were on our way home. It was going to be a long ride, so Mom told us to get comfortable and be good. Mom and Jenny were talking in front of me, and they would occasionally look back and give me funny looks. "Andy, do you remember when we played Sister Twin?" Mom asked with a smile. "Well, you're all dressed up, so let's play Sister Twin again." Mom saw me trying on one of Jenny's dresses last spring, and she wouldn't let me take it off until I played as a real girl. I secretly wanted to dress and be treated like a girl, but I was too embarrassed to say it out loud. Becky and Mom kept trying to get me to agree, and I finally gave in. I tried to be brave and told Jenny, "Okay, I'll play Sister Twin." Jenny and Becky were both smiling, so it was clear that they were happy to see me in a dress. "It's great." Becky looked at Jenny and me and said, "I've always wanted two sisters." Becky was fussing with my dress while she watched Jenny and me. "You two kind of do look like twins." We were all getting along well. Becky and Mom were paying a lot of attention to the twins, and I liked how gentle and childlike they were with us. Becky got us to play some silly games, which made me feel like a star. We were almost halfway home, and we were starting to get bored. Becky took another look in the travel bag and found some of Jenny's barrettes and a brush. She said with a smile, "Princess, it's time to fix your hair." I was tired and couldn't fight anymore, and now was my chance to be treated like a little girl, hair and all. Becky fixed Jenny's hair all the time and knew just what to do. When she brushed out my hair, she said she was jealous of my cute curls. My hair was naturally curly, and I'd been meaning to get it cut for a while. After what seemed like a long time of Becky messing with my hair, she was finally done. She gave me a little pat on the head and said, "There you go, princess." I looked in the rearview mirror and couldn't believe what I saw. Becky had neatly parted my hair down the middle, brushed out the curls, and put 2 pink barrettes in them. Each one kept a wave of curly hair in place, which looked a lot like Jenny's pigtails. It looked cute. "Wow," my mom said. "Good job, Andy. You're so cute. What do you say to your sister?" I smiled and said, "Thank you, Becky." I liked how the dress felt on my skin, and I liked getting special treatment. I felt very calm. Jenny and I were both tired from the day's activities, and Mom could see that. She told us to close our eyes and take a nap because it would take about an hour to get home. She was right. I was tired, so I got comfortable and fell asleep for a little while. After a while, Jenny said, "Mommy, I'm hungry. Can we stop at McDonald's?" I had just woken up and loved McDonald's, so I said, "Me too, Mom," without even thinking about it. Our mom told us there was a McDonald's a few miles ahead and we would stop there to eat. Now that I was fully awake, it hit me. "I'm wearing a dress." "No, Mom, we can't stop," I said. "Not in this dress, Andy," she said sharply. "You've ruined good clothes. That's why you're in this dress." "Can't I just wait in the car, please?" I begged. "That's enough. You are coming with us." Mom was strong. I'd seen her easily carry Jenny, and I didn't want that to happen to me. "Okay, Mommy," I said. It was kind of exciting to think about going in. "Don't worry," Andy Becky said as she held my hand. "You look like a girl. No one will know, and your big sister will look out for you." That actually made me feel better, because she was always looking out for Jenny. Whenever Jenny got into trouble or needed a little help, she was there. When we got out of the car, I didn't want to, but Mom made Jenny and me stand next to each other while she fussed with our dresses and hair to make sure we were ready. The high waist of the dress felt strange. When I got out of the hot car, I could feel a cool breeze on my stomach. The shiny black Mary Janes had hard heels that made clicking sounds when I walked. Mom led us across the parking lot by holding our hands. It was almost time for dinner, and McDonald's was busy. Jenny insisted that she and her twin sister hold hands while we waited in line to order. I tried not to look at anyone, but I couldn't help but notice that people were smiling and paying us a little bit of attention. When it was finally our turn, the woman counting was very nice to us. She asked Jenny and me in a sweet voice, "What would girls like to do today?" Jenny placed her order with a smile, so I looked up at the lady and placed my own order. I think she knew I was a boy because her smile changed a little and she looked at me from head to toe. When our food was ready after a few minutes, Mom led us to a booth. Mom had Jenny and me sit next to each other, of course. As we ate, I began to feel better. As we sat in the booth, I loved how the dress and tights felt on my skin. I liked being treated like a girl. Mom and Becky were kind and gentle, and the extra attention made me feel special. Jenny was a lot of fun. Every once in a while, she would do or say something that made me laugh out loud. We both ate all of our dinners without getting anything on our dresses. Mom praised the girls for being good, and then she said, "Let's go home." We were soon pulling into our driveway, and I was glad my dad was out of town because I wouldn't want him to see me all dressed up. I was happy to be home and ready to get out of the dress. When I got to my room, I took off my Mary Jane shoes. I tried to pull the dress off, but I couldn't. I reached around and tried to get to all those tiny buttons in the back, but I couldn't get them undone. I went into the family room to ask for help from Mom. Mom asked me in a condescending way, "What are you doing, Princess?" as she pulled me onto her lap. "Do you know why there are so many small buttons on the back of your dress?" "No, Mommy," I said. "So girls can't take off their dresses without Mommy's help. If you're a good girl, Mom will take off your dress at bedtime. If you're bad, you'll have to wear your pretty dress to bed." I started to think that calling me a little girl was more than just a punishment. It seemed like Mom liked making me feel like a girl and found it funny to see me in the dress. "Okay, Mommy," I said in a soft and sweet voice. "That's my good girl," Mom said. "Now go play with Jenny." I found Jenny sitting on the floor in her room with one of her favorite coloring books. Jenny liked to color, and she had big coloring books with Disney characters and other things to color. "Hi, Jenny," I said with a smile as I sat down next to her on the floor. Jenny was happy to play with her fake twin sister. We colored and played with some of Jenny's favorite teddy bears. I liked how it felt to play on her hardwood floor in a dress. On the smooth wood floor, the nylons were slippery, and the dress was soft and fluffy. Jenny was very helpful, and I was actually having fun. Jenny was always getting a lot of attention from Mom, and I could see why. She was happy, excited, and very cute. Mom would check on the twins every once in a while. I could tell that Mom was happy to see Jenny and I playing so well together. When I pretended to be a girl, I could act silly and run around in the dress. Mom told Becky and my sweetheart, "It's time for bed," as she and Becky came into the room. Jenny was very kind to me, and I remembered what she taught me at the zoo about how girls say, "Thank you." Standing in front of her, I gently held my dress and put one foot back. "Thanks for playing with me, Jenny," I said with a smile as I did my best curtsy. Jenny gave me a big hug, and my mom told Becky to help Jenny get ready for bed while she took care of me. Mom led me into my room by the hand and put me on her lap. "Okay, Princess, you've been good to your mom," she said, "so let's get you out of that dress." As my mom slowly undid the buttons in the back of the dress, she told me to think about what happened at the zoo today. She told him, "You know, honey, in the last 2 weeks, you've already ruined 3 pairs of pants and a few shirts. We can't keep buying you new clothes, so here's what we're going to do. If you ruin any more clothes or don't behave, you'll have to play in a dress. I have a lot of pretty dresses that will fit you well." My mom then told me that she had seen me looking at Jenny's clothes and reminded me of what happened with my sister's party dress. She told me, "I think you kind of like wearing dresses." Mom helped me get off her lap and take off the dress. She put the dress on a hanger and put it in my closet where it was easy to see. "We'll just keep your pretty dress here, and you can wear it again if you want to," she said. "I would love to dress you up again. I think it's cute." I told my mom I was sorry for ruining my clothes again and I would try hard to stay out of trouble. Mom and I talked for a little bit longer, and it was hard for me to say how I felt about wearing the dress. Mom could see that I was tired. As she put me to bed, she told me not to worry about it. I think I understand what she meant when she said that dresses are special and that everyone, even boys, want to feel special. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.